What is going on? What is going on? Hopefully my mic is working. All right, cool, we're good. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see today, we're going to be going over the 5th gen Dodge Viper, the last gen Dodge Viper for now. Well, probably forever, honestly. And it's probably one of the best Vipers, even though people like to say that this is too refined, blah, blah, blah. This is the most modern of all Vipers. It actually has safety systems, more powerful than the previous versions as well. And I think it looks the best. Most modern interior. And as I always say with cars, low production numbers and low interest equal super rare, super valuable in the future. And what do we see with this car? No one wanted them in 2013 and 2014. They revamped the branding in 2015. So a little bit here and there, 2016, not really, 2017, not really. And then now they're going for way over MSRP, even with 40,000 miles, which is crazy. We're gonna look at some examples today. If you're familiar, or if you're new here, what we do here on the show is first we get some videos out of the way, just so you guys what car we're going over, some cinematic shots, stuff like that. And then afterwards, we will go over the features, options, and problems for the vehicle. And then using that information, we're gonna look at ads and price them out. Today's a special day. We're doing the giveaway for the $50. So if you joined my Discord and did all the other stuff, you're in luck, because one of you guys might win $50 today. We're gonna do that after the videos. I have a couple reasons and speculations as to why the car didn't sell too well. Besides, it just being, I think, wrong place, wrong time. Honestly, this thing would sell like crazy today. There is also a technical reason why they had to stop production as well. We'll get into all that in this show. One thing I like about and dislike about the Viper. Well, first of all, it's only one standard engine across the board, no matter what trim you get. So that I like. The thing I don't like is that there's too many trim levels. Very characteristic of Dodge to do. They love having trim levels for everything instead of just having options, which would have been a little bit smarter. As you can see, this is a global car, even though it's an American muscle machine. This one is in Europe. Most modern cars are like that, though. All right, cool. Let's stop this music. All right, cool. We got a dyno video here. This one is full bolt-on, so it's not going to be stock. I believe he's going to put in the specs in a second. These cars look good in all colors. All right, let's see. So as Aero ECU, Bellinger, oh man, I missed that. Can't read fast enough. Bellinger full exhaust, can and filter, smooth tube, so headers, crank underdrive pulling, okay, catch can. So actually not too many mods, to be honest, just full exhaust really. Headers and full exhaust and a tune. See what kind of power it's making with those simple bolt-ons. 8.4 liter V10, probably one of the largest production engines ever. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. Welcome if you're just rolling in. Let me know what you think about the Dodge Viper. Would you ever get one? I really want a Viper. They're just so raw, and it's like, if you're able to drive one, which I mean, if you're just driving regularly, it's going to be not that bad. But if you can handle a Viper, that comes with some respect. All right, let's see. 576 horsepower, 532 pound-feet of torque. These are at the wheels, so pretty good numbers here. We can see The red line was probably around 6,500 RPM. So again, this engine is huge. It's not going to rev up that high, but 6,500 RPM for an 8.4 liter engine, very impressive. All right, cool. Let's watch this POV. This guy is, I believe this one's twin turbo. As you can see, one of the biggest issues with this car is the cramped cabin as well as the low. Oh, this looks like it's, wow. He went around that turn really fast. I thought the video was sped up. Anyway, this car has very bad visibility. If you're taller than 6'1", 6'2", you're probably going to need to get a seat lowering kit so you can actually fit in the car. I don't want to say you can't fit in the car, but in terms of being able to see out the front, that's the biggest issue because of this bar up here. It's like there's a bubble roof, so your head can fit, but you're looking straight at this thing. Very characteristic V10 sound. If you know me, the V10 is probably my favorite configuration of engine. It's the perfect configuration, you know, speaking numbers wise, 10. Everyone loves 12 cylinders, obviously, but the V10 combines the V12's sophisticated noise and the V8 gutturalness into one sound that just sounds amazing. Only come in manual, so if you can't drive manual, this is not the car for you. I'm just gonna keep yep, it does have a track mode. This is the Viper with different modes, which is another reason why I think this is one of the best Vipers. Obviously, the old Vipers are going to be more raw and whatnot, but you don't have any of that type of customization with the old Vipers. These ones are, wow, are actually pretty modern in that sense. You have options like adjustable suspension, you got the modes, you have launch control. Along with having an actual nav screen. Speaker upgrades as well. Lots of creature comfort upgrades for this car. We can see here it probably redlines around 6,200 RPM. That's what it kind of looks like here. But that tuned one obviously probably had a little bit higher RPM limit. You guys get the idea. I have one more. Yes, I have one more video, and then we will get into the show. So this one is twin turbo. I'm not sure if that last one was twin turbo. I think it was. I can kind of hear it. Anyway, shout out to 1320 video. Please don't copyright my video. I'm really tired of it. I'm literally speaking over it, pausing it every so often. You know, fair use, fair use. Familiar with these Vipers, if you slap twin turbos on them, you know, obviously you're going to be paying 50 to 60 grand to get it done, but you're going to be having 1,300, 1,400, maybe even 1,500 wheel horsepower. And because the engine is so big, it can handle the boost. There were problems with early Vipers in terms of their engine quality being not the best, but we'll get into all that in a second. Shout out to Claro and Jacob Black in the chat. What is going on, y'all? Whoa.
Both of them waiting with the Corvette goes crossways down there, ends up in the right-hand lane.
Corvette. He lost and almost lost it. Dang, that Viper was walking away.
Royal? I think so. It let in my lane third. I went into it twice and it would like instantly just spin.
Did you see him next to you?
No, I just know like.
But yeah, shout out to the Viper, man. Anyway, oh man, I didn't even get this ready. Hold on. Always something. Too many different things I gotta keep up with. I'm trying to set the show up. It's like a million things. Anyway, let's get started with it. Let me get back to this page. What is going on, y'all? On Warren Cars, back again with another car buyer's guide. As you can see, today we are I wish. We're going to be doing a buyer's guide for the 5th generation Dodge Viper. The last Dodge Viper, last model year was in 2017, and they won't probably make another one. So let's get into it. But before that, let me actually set up this paint, and then we're oh man, let me do that. Let's do this. Recent sheet. Don't save. Paste. We'll make this 50. Perfect. All right, cool. So we got that set up. Let's get on to the let's do some quick announcements. If you haven't joined my Discord already, join my Discord. I'm doing a giveaway today. So if you haven't joined yet, it's a little bit too late for you to join to win, but still join because I still do giveaways every 2 or 3 weeks usually. And this is where we talk about cars. So this is where the announcements are for the show. This is where we have a bunch of different groups here where we talk about cars, general show your car, blah, blah, blah. It's a good time. We got a couple of members here online right now, but we got to, it's growing slowly but surely. So join the Discord. Join the club. All right, cool. Let's get on to the giveaway because I know everybody's waiting for that. Where'd I put that? Okay, cool. All right. So I hope you guys are ready. We're just going to get it done. So I got the names here in order from the Discord. So I'm going to shuffle them real quick. Just make it as fair as possible. So I'm going to click it maybe 10 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. All right, you guys ready? We are about to do this. Who will win $50 today? How did you do that? That's crazy. I don't know how you did that, Claro, but yeah. Shout out to JWet Savage. So JWet Savage, I'll hit you up in the Discord privately. If you don't respond by tomorrow, we're going to do another giveaway on Monday. So this is how it works. If you don't respond within 24 hours, that was insane, Claro. I don't know how you predicted that. But yeah, if you don't respond within 24 hours, I will just ring it again because I'm not gonna sit around and wait for you to collect your money. If you want it, hit me up, or I'll hit you up. You better respond. All right, cool. Shout out to JWet Savage. Let me write it in the Discord. That was insane, Claro. That's kind of weird, actually. Let me just all right, cool. Shout out to JWet Savage. You know what's funny? This is actually a thing I need to figure out. But people's Discord names and people's names on YouTube are different. So like I don't know who I'm talking to sometimes. And so if you could just if you have a different Discord name / or YouTube name, just say it in the Discord whenever you want, just so I can clarify who is who. Cool. All right. So getting that out of the way. Shout out to JWet Savage again. Hey, shout out to Claro, man. Claro runs the Discord, and this is not car related, but he's been putting good work in school, getting lots of good job offers, military stuff as well. And yeah, shout out to him, man. He's going places in life. All right, let's get on to the show. So let me minimize this, go back to paint. All right, so the 5th generation Dodge Viper. Let me get this over here. I got some quick features here. The thing is with these cars is that, especially for the last 2 model years, the packages and features went crazy. Pretty much every car from then on, 2015 on, really are going to be custom. They're all pretty much one-off. There's around 3,300 of them running around, 5th gen Vipers. And so, because sales were so poor initially, and at the end as well, people, or the company Dodge, just wanted to get rid of cars. And so people were able to option their cars however they wanted to. It was pretty crazy. So anyway, let's get to it. 2013 to 2017 is the years for the Dodge Viper, with 2015 being kind of a rebrand. I call it the Dodge Viper, but at launch it was actually called the SRT Viper, and it changed back to the Dodge Viper in 2015. I guess they figured that they wanted to make SRT like a brand back then, like kind of that's their performance division, but they wanted to just brand them as SRTs. However, I guess it didn't work marketing wise. A lot of people Didn't know what an SRT was, I guess. I don't know exactly the numbers and the statistics behind why they switched it back, but they switched it back. It wasn't working for them. It uses an aluminum 8.4 liter V10, making 640. Actually, it was there was a horsepower bump. Yeah, 2015. So they actually had a horsepower bump. But initially, the SRT Viper makes 640 horsepower, 600 pound-feet of torque, which is insane for a naturally aspirated motor. And then everyone who drives one of these says that it feels like way more. Like, for example, you could drive a 600 horsepower BMW M6 and then hop in one of these, and it's a completely different feeling. I think it's also due to the naturally aspiratedness. It's instant. It uses a Tremec 6060 6-speed transmission only, and that's really impressive that the Tremec 6060 can handle this much torque. Just a really, really great manual transmission, but it's usually found in most American muscle cars. Top speed of 206 miles an hour. Obviously, that's going to be without all the aero. We'll get into all the different options in a second, but when you have all the aero, the top speed is definitely going to be reduced. The first Viper to have electronic stability control, which is insane because this came out in 2013, and electronic stability control was like a thing since before, like early 2000s even. So electronic stability control, they finally made it somewhat refined, even though it's still a Viper, still naturally aspirated 8.4 liter V10, still only manual, and it's still, not the most refined vehicle. However, they did add some safety systems. Shout out to Clean Whips in the chat. What is going on, man? Shout out to you. Would you ever get a Dodge Viper? Let me know. I really want a 5th gen because they're the ones that are probably going to retain the most value, if we're going to be honest. But there are so many other gens you can get, and they're all pretty good. I just would stay away from a 1st gen. I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff, but that's too old for me. Anyway, so 2013 first model year, 2014 third traction control mode added, so just slight changes in 2014 model year. 2015 is when they renamed it to the Dodge Viper, with a bump of 5 horsepower, making 645 horsepower while keeping the same 600 pound-feet of torque, and they improved the highway fuel economy to 20 miles per gallon, but I don't believe them. If you have one of these cars, or have you ever been around it or driven one, you know that you average probably like 9, maybe 10 miles to the gallon if you're driving it in the city. But I guess if you're taking like a long trip, you could probably maybe get 20 if you're driving at like 55 miles per hour in the highest gear. Maybe for a period of time until you went to go past somebody, then that's obviously going to make that drop. 2016, no changes. And 2017, production ended for both poor sales and non-compliance with the FMVSS 226 safety regulation of not having side curtain airbags. So again, they had to stop production because of that. Obviously, they could have, figured it out how to put side curtain airbags in this car. It's not that difficult. They could have done something. However, it was mostly due to poor sales. People didn't really feel this car back then. I guess, I don't know, man, because people are feeling this car now. But back then, I don't know what was people. I was loving this car back then. I don't know what people were on. Anyway, there are a ton of trim levels for this car, but we're gonna go over the 5 basic ones, and then these are actually trim levels. A lot of people consider like the TA a trim level or the ACR Extreme a trim level, but those are all packages. So we're gonna differentiate all that stuff when we get to the options in a second. So base went the full range of model years, 13 through 17. The GTS, same, 13 through 17. The GT was 15 through 16. GT was a weird one. So the GTS was the luxury version of the base. It also came with adaptive or adjustable suspension. And in later years, they came fully optioned in terms of interior amenities. The GT, which was available 15 to 16, was a base Viper with a semi-luxury interior. It was kind of like a GTS. I mean, it's almost a GTS, even literally is GT versus GTS. However, it didn't have all the full leather. It had Alcantara inserts, and it also got adaptive suspension. All GTS performance options were mostly available for the GT, so you actually could get a GT with more options than a GTS. Like if you got a base level GTS in 2015 specifically, for 2016, I believe, in 2017, the GTS had more and more standard features, but for 15, you could get a GT with more options than a GTS. You're just gonna have a lesser interior. It's gonna have more Alcantara. It's gonna have it's not gonna have the special Laguna leather everywhere, but you can get more options for like a big discount on price. So that's why a lot of people went for the GT. However, people who went for the GT often say that they wish they had the GTS because of the luxury interior. But you could still get all the performance stuff on a GT. The GTC is basically Dodge's fully customizable program for the Viper. You could have over 8,000 colors. It was like so many different choices you could have for a GTC. So every GTC you're going to see is going to be different, okay? In fact, all of these cars are going to be different. They all were pretty much optioned individually. And then finally, we have the ACR from 2016 to 2017. It has the unique aero kit. Everyone knows what the ACR aero kit looks like. Big wing. You got the front diffuser. You got the canards. You also have it's basically a stripped down interior. You don't get all the interior amenities, but you also get carbon ceramic brakes and a Bilstein 10-way adjustable suspension. So very much made for the track. And the ACR prices are insane right now. ACR prices are more than Aventador's. Insane, right? Anyway, so let's move on to problems. Not too many problems with this car, surprisingly. There were a lot of recalls. However, most of the problems, come from the recall or stuff like, we'll get into it. So the R28 and R29 recalls for oil consumption and rod bearing failure. So basically, for the first two model years of the car, 2013 and 2014, there were recalls for oil consumption and rod bearing failure. This car, basically what would happen is that the engines, they were produced, they were like factory machined or whatever. They came into the car, or they came into the assembly line, and they weren't cleaned properly before installation, and so you have debris from the machining process still in the engine, and that causes damage. It can mess up your rod bearings. Oil consumption is a big issue with these cars. In fact, for the early ones, it was a little bit more, but you should average around a quart per 1,000 miles, which if you're driving a high performance car, you're pretty much used to that kind of stuff anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. The R40 recall is really funny, actually. I think this recall is hilarious. Basically, the way Dodge engineered their multimedia infotainment system, so two things. One, you can actually adjust all the suspension and the driving dynamics of the car through the system. Two, because it's a multimedia system now, it's not just a head unit. It connects to the internet and whatnot. People were able to hack into these cars and change people's settings from remotely, which is funny. So they did a recall on that to make sure that hackers couldn't mess your settings up. You also had a recall for water damage on 13 and 14 model years. Recall for the seat position sensors, 13 and 14. Something about the seat position sensors makes it so basically the airbag would deploy at a slower speed. I don't know if it thought that the seats were all the way up or something, so they deployed at a slower speed, or I don't know, but recall for that. Also, with these recalls, especially this R28 and the R29, if you had that done from the factory, for 13 and 14 model years, that came with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. And so it is 2024, so the warranties are kind of out now, but hopefully that means that the car was taken care of up until this point. So don't avoid the 13 and 14 models. They're very good. They're only 5 horsepower less. There are some things that were optional on those, or even standard on those, that were not even optional on the 15 pluses. Just keep that in mind. Fully loaded 13 or 14 is kind of equivalent to a mid-loaded 75%, 80% loaded 15 plus. There's just some extra stuff that was added. Early cars out of warranty now. And then the final problem is very raw. So the car doesn't have much sound deadening, lots of road noise. It's all manual, very analog, everything like that. It's not really a problem. However, it's not as refined as its competitors. And a lot of people who are in the market for a car like this, who have this type of money, they're going to expect a little bit more from a car like this. And yeah, I just want to let you guys know off the bat that this car is not that. This is the most analog, raw, modern car you can get, and you got to take it seriously. Cool. All right, let's move on to the options. The best part, the part everyone waits for. Well, actually, everyone waits for the ads, but this is the prequel to the ads. Lots of information here, but we're going to look at the brochures as well because of how confusing this can get. All right. Let's make this one font size smaller. Oh, wow, to make it 2 font sizes smaller. All right. Packages. Let me just highlight these. It's going to take a little bit. Bear with me. Too many packages on this thing, man. In fact, there were so many packages when I got to years 15 and 16 from doing my research. I just stopped writing down the packages because they just got so crazy and so specific. It was almost like the Toyota packages of 2006. Where every little thing needed its own package for some reason. Whatever. Let's see. Ceramic Blue Edition package. TA Special Edition package. All right. So that's it for packages. Let me bold this too. Make it easier to read. Perfect. All right. So individual options. These are options that you can get. I kind of put some of the years, but again, for 2016 and 2017, you can get whatever you want, honestly. So start off with the wheels. You can either get the 5-spoke Rattler wheels, the split 6-spoke Venom wheels, or the Sidewinder wheels in 2014. For 2013, the Sidewinder wheels were only available with the TA package. You also have painted dual racing stripes, rear applique color. So basically, this is the license plate surround. You can either have it in body color black or carbon. You can get the SRT Laguna Premium interior knot seats. So this is the interior, talking about door cards, the dash, the headliner, everything like that, available for the GTS. Contrast stitching for the GTS, floor mats for the base. I guess if you got a base Viper, you had the option floor mats, which is kind of funny. Alcantara headliner was an option for the GTS. Red seatbelts is an option. Subbelt leather surface sport bucket seats base. So basically, if you didn't get the leather surface seats, if you got a base model, it came with the billet, or I forget what it's called. It's somewhere down here. Anyway, it was cloth. It was fabric. Oh, ballistic. That's what it's called. Ballistic cloth. Hey, shout out to Trini Man in the chat. What is going on, Trini Man? What do you think about the Viper? You also had the Subbelt SRT Laguna Premium Leather Sport Bucket Power 6-way seats for the GTS. So basically, if you got a base, but you wanted leather seats, you were still going to have manual seats. They would just be leather manual. But if you had a GTS, you could get this. You could get power seats in, the regular leather, the Napa leather, or the Laguna Premium leather. So Napa leather was going to be standard. You also had options of 2 speaker systems. However, the speaker systems is a little bit confusing because you can't really tell based on pictures. You have to actually read the description. So for 2013 only, and I believe some of 2014, they had a base 9-speaker system. And then you had options for a 12-speaker Harman Kardon audio system or an 18-speaker Harman Kardon audio system. You know me, I would only look at cars with 18-speaker. I like my sound. And of course, it's a Viper. I mean, 18 speakers, it's a lot for a little cabin like that. So it sounds okay. It's not the best sounding speaker system. However, it's the best out of all the options. So that's what I would go with. You also have the carbon fiber hood with 2 air extractors. 6 air extractors were standard. You can see that here. They changed up the hoods actually in terms of what trim level came with what hood. First, the base came with the 6-hood or the 6-hole hood, and then the GTS would come with the 2-hole hood, and then they switched that up around 2015, I think. Yeah, something like that. We're going to look at all the stuff. Basically, people want the 6-hole hood. That's the one people want. The GTS originally came with the 2-hole hood until people said, I like the 6-hole hood. I wish I could get that on a GTS. And then, they just made that standard for the GTS and then made the 2-hole hood an option. So they switched it up. But just keep that in mind. 6-hole hood is what people want. Carbon fiber, Subbelt Napa leather sport bucket manual seats in the GT for 2015. So again, the GT is a base, however, with some luxury features as well as adaptive suspension. So again, that's another option for the GT. You have your fuel filler door in carbon / satin black for the GTC in 2016. Again, the GTC, you could do anything custom. So I don't know why they even listed this for the GTC because you could really change anything in a GTC. Carbon fiber hood with 6 air extractors, GTC standard, or 2016. GTS 2 extractor standard until 2016. Then 6 extractor standard became GTS. Okay, so now it wasn't 2015, it was 2016. Clara said they should stop making tan leather. You know what, man? I like the tan interiors on these cars. They're super unique. We're going to look at those in a second, though. And then an X-brace. So GTC, AR, they all come with an X-brace. I believe this is X-brace in carbon. So carbon X-brace for GTC and ACR only 2016. And then for the packages, we're going to go over some of the basic packages, but there are a lot more packages than this. Advanced aerodynamics package, carbon fiber, or carbon front side splitter extensions, carbon rear spoiler for the advanced aero package, grand touring package, interior cup holder, insert rear backup camera, Uconnect 8.4-inch screen with nav, carbon fiber interior accents group, interior trim pieces and air ducts in carbon, exterior carbon package, carbon fiber exterior front rear ducts, or brake ducts, front and rear brake ducts, and rear tail lamp applique. So that surround for the license plate is going to be in carbon with the exterior carbon fiber package. GTS Laguna interior package. So for the GTS, you can get Alcantara headliner, SRT premium leather, upgrade on doors, instrument panel, center console, GTS gun metal trim. Then you have the track package, which comes with stop tech, slotted vented light weight 2-piece rotors, ultra lightweight sidewinder track wheels, and P0 Corsas. Baseball seat. Yeah, have you ever seen like the Audi TTs with the baseball interior? I think those look amazing. Okay, cool. Anyway, so now we have the anodized carbon edition package. So these most of these whatever edition or special edition packages, they're kind of going to be the same except for small differences here and there. So this one is going to be anodized carbon. edition package with matte paint finish, carbon fiber brake ducts front and rear, carbon fiber applique, exterior GTS badge in gloss black, satin black exhaust bezels, satin black filler cap, Alcantara headliner, door bolsters, and knee blockers. I don't know what a knee blocker. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know why they call it a knee blocker. Anyway, gunmetal door bezels, interior carbon fiber accents, unique instrument panel badge, orange interior stitching, orange brake calipers with black Viper, and black Vapor Chrome wheel finish. And then you have the TA Special Edition package. This is an important one. This is one a lot of people like simply because it kind of looks like an ACR, except it's not. And it's a base level car. So you have Advanced Aero package. You have the carbon fiber rear applique, TA sill decals, front fascia striker logo decal, ballistic fabric seats. So that's what I'm talking about. Cloth seats with orange stitching, Bilstein 2-mode suspension in orange with solid sway bars, competition alignment. So the alignment's a little bit different than a base Viper. Brembo slotted vented 2-piece rotors, anodized calipers with orange Viper logo, Sidewinder 2 wheels, and P0 Corsas with the carbon fiber cross brace. Ceramic blue edition is basically the same as the anodized carbon edition, except it comes with the ceramic blue paint, and it doesn't have the Alcantara headliner. And then TA2 Special Edition, new front dive planes, carbon fiber corner splitters, extended rub strips, new larger rear wing, carbon fiber applique, TA seal decal. Same thing as the TA1, except it's a little bit different in terms of the looks. Cool. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's look at some of the brochures so you guys can get a feel of the vehicle. So we have that here. So here is the 2014 Viper, or 2013 brochure. So the first brochure that they released for the 5th gen Viper. So you can see this is a GTS interior. You can see the leather everywhere with the Alcantara headliner. I really like this tan interior, but to each its own, of course. GTS is talking about the speaker system. What does this say here? So yeah, base in 2013 was going to be a 9-speaker system. Then you can get a 12-speaker or an available 18-speaker system, as I mentioned before. These are going to be your interior colors. You got ballistic and caprice in black, so this is going to be your standard. Then you have SRT Viper interior fabrics. Wait, what? Sorry, available. This one's going to be your standard. These are available. You have Napa leather trimmed in caramel with black accent stitching, Napa leather trimmed in black with matching accent stitching, Napa leather trimmed in header red with black accent stitching. Then you have GTS fabric, so you have Napa perforated / Alcantara, and then if you get the that optional Laguna package, that of course upgrades all this to Laguna leather, which we see here. So Laguna diamond leather in sepia with light frost beige stitching, and Laguna leather in black with silver accent stitching. So if you see the diamond stitching, it's going to be Laguna. If it's just regular leather, then it's going to be Napa. If it is if it's Napa and Alcantara, then it is a GTS. If it's just Napa, that means it is a base, or it could be a GTS. And then if it has only cloth, then of course that is just a base model. Cool. All right. I'm going to go down here. Does it show any types of colors? Yep, these are going to be the colors available. So nice little color palette here. We got white, yellow, 2 reds, a couple blues, silver, and a black. You can see the names here. Black Venom, Gunmetal Pearl, Shadow Blue Pearl, GTS Blue, Striker Red, Tinted Pearl, Adrenaline Red, Race Yellow, and Bright White. Then you get some stripes. I'm not a big fan of the stripes. You can get them if you want. These are going to be your wheel options. So right here is going to be the Rattlers. These are the 5 spokes. And then right here is going to be the Venoms, the split spokes. And then these are your Sidewinder 2s. I really like the Sidewinder 2s. I really like the... Actually, I'm not going to lie. They all look pretty good, but they all look good in different ways. These look really aggressive. These look like really nice stock wheels, like a base Viper with these wheels, especially in bright chrome or bright painted aluminum, looks really good. These are just kind of in the middle. You can see them right here. They look kind of like the older Viper wheels. It is what it is, but they all look pretty good to me. As you can see, these are the options packages that were available for 2013. So just these few ones: Advanced Aerodynamic, Grand Touring, Carbon Fiber Interior, Exterior Carbon Fiber, GTS Laguna, and Track package. And going on to the 2014, they kind of switched up their formatting a little bit. We got the colors here. They added the TA Orange because the TA pack was available. So you can see the TA pack down here, this TA Special Edition. I wonder if they have any pictures of one. I don't know. Anyway, so scrolling through 2015, you can see they switch it up again. Yeah, 355 rears. I didn't even mention that, but yeah, meaty tires. And if you don't have the pockets for that, then you're going to be out of luck. You're probably going to need new tires every 5 to 7,000 miles, or new rear tires at least every 5 to 7,000 miles. They eat through these big summer tires. They're soft compound. And yeah, you really need that soft compound to get all that torque down because it's instant. It's not turbo torque. This is real torque. So as you can see, in 2015, they introduced a TA2, which has a different style of aero. I think people prefer the TA1. They say the TA2 doesn't look as good. But again, they basically, for 2015, they introduced TA2. People didn't really like it. So for 2016, they allowed people to get the TA1 again. Or you could get the TA2. Or you get the Time Attack, or Time Attack 2, or ACR package, or ACR interior package. Or the GTS interior package. As you can see, the GTC, everything is optional except for the TA packages. Those are simply for the base models. Remember that if you have a TA car, that means it's the base car. But everything else is available for the GTC. As you can see, the GTC was the fully customizable one. If you got a GTC, I've seen some GTCs that look insane in terms of the leather color combinations, the inside that came from factory like that. Just keep that in mind. Oh yeah, we also have more packages. You have the anodized carbon package and extreme aero package. This one is very special in terms of the ACR trim level. If you get the extreme aero package, that's the one that looks the craziest. That's the one that always, people take pictures of. The one you probably have seen the most. So yeah, as you can see, tons of different packages. I'm not even going to go through them all because they'll probably say it in the description. And if not, just ask because you really need to know exactly what car you're getting. As you can see, now moving to 2017. You have even more packages. You have the matte exterior, interior carbon, satin black exterior, satin chrome exterior, advanced aero, Laguna interior, ceramic blue interior, TA interior, TA1, TA2, Time Attack 1, Time Attack 2, ACR interior, GTS interior, anodized carbon package, anodized carbon interior package. You have the Extreme Aero, Snakeskin edition, GTSR commemorative edition, 1 to 28 edition, and the Voodoo 2 edition. So tons of different editions for the last model year. And as you can see, always available for the GTC. The GTC is, you can have an ACR looking GTC, honestly. Like an AC, pretty much if you get a GTC with all the ACR stuff, you can have all the luxury features and all the aero features. The GTC is pretty much the ultimate one in my opinion. Yeah, snakeskin, I don't know exactly what that means. Snakeskin green exterior color. So it's just the name of the color. It's not actual snakeskin. But yeah, so many different options for these, but most of this stuff is going to be standard, especially as the years go on. See, standard, pretty much everything. Yeah, but we went through all those. I'm trying to think what else can I show you guys before we get into the ads, but I think that's pretty much it. They had some changes in 2015.5. This is when they introduced a 2.0. So it's just a little memo here from Dodge. So let's get to the ads, shall we? 37 minutes in, we are running smoothly. Oh, this is not it. All right, cool. Actually, let me refresh all these. Let me not do that again. Oh, I'm always having these ads not ready for y'all, but I got y'all this time. Kind of. Just give me a second. And oh, and another thing, this is kind of my fault, I guess, but when I was first, sometimes I like to find the ads first. That way I can just see what's out there and just look at, production numbers in terms of, well, not production numbers, but sale numbers in terms of how many are up online. And I forgot completely that the SRT Dodge or the SRT Viper was a thing and it wasn't a Dodge Viper. So on Auto Trader, I was confused. I was like, why are there only 2015 plus Vipers on here? And so I didn't use Auto Trader, but then I realized much later that it was actually under the SRT brand. So we're only going to look at Car Gurus today, but I got a ton of ads from Car Gurus. We're going to keep it light. It is Friday. But here we go. We got our first example right here. This is a 2013 SRT Viper GTS, 42,000 miles, and they want $102,000. That is really close to what MSRP was. In fact, people were paying like, back in like 2014, people were paying like 80 grand for these things, man. Insane. Anyway, let's take a look, see what we're working with here. It's all black. We can see we have the Rattler wheels. 5 spokes in black. Black wheels, black paint. Interior is in red. As you can see, this is a GTS without the Laguna interior package. So we do have, you know, a mix of Alcantara and leather. I'm trying to see. This was a GTS, so I believe it came with a different speaker system. Can we see? Yep, it came with the Harman Kardon speaker system. The problem is that no matter what Harman Kardon system you have, they all look the same. They just have no speakers up here. So that's the way you can tell. Look, put your ear up against there if you can't tell, or if you don't have your VIN or anything, but you have the car for some reason, but no VIN. But basically, this is where the additional speakers will be here, here, and behind the seats. And so this has the Harman Kardon speaker system, at least a 12 speaker system. You can see this is that big carbon clamshell hood, and because this is a GTS, a 2013 GTS, it only has the 2 slotted hood. You can see this one has nav as well. So hold on, I'm trying to wait. Let me bring this over here. All right, cool. So what was I saying? Okay, so this has the Grand Touring package, of course. I mean, it's nav, but it's a GTS, so it has a lot of stuff standard anyway. But it's a GTS. I think the GTS, honestly, is the best way to go, simply because you can get all the options and you don't have to really think about it. What? A GTR or over a Viper? I mean, I guess it's way faster. It's way more techy. The Viper is more of a like a farm equipment machine type deal compared to a GTR, but man, a Viper turns heads way more than GTR. GTR looks like a car sometimes. In fact, GTR looks really fat in my opinion. If you ever seen a Viper in real life, they're really tiny. They look big in pictures because of the proportions, but they're really small. They're like I don't know how to describe it, but they're probably like the size of like a 3 Series. Like they're not that big. Like they're really small. The interior is very small as well. I was mentioning this at the top of the show. You can even see it here, the big bubble for the roof like this. Like your head will fit, but you're going to be looking at this part right here if you're a taller person. So you should probably get a seat lowering kit if you're looking to get one of these. This one is 2013 with 42,000 miles. It is a GTS, and it does have some sort of Harman Kardon speaker system. However, I don't really know which one it has. Let's see what it says in terms of packages. Does it say anything in terms of packages? Of course not. It has a nice ChatGPT style description. Okay, like a vet. Yeah, I mean, it is like a vet, but a little smaller. A 3 Series is like the size. I'm talking about like the footprint. You know, I'm talking about the actual size. That's not including the height. Obviously, it's way lower than the 3 Series, but the footprint is pretty, like a, you know, it's not that big. Anyway, so what I was saying here, I was trying to find the packages because it's really hard to tell on some of these things, but of course it doesn't really say. But again, this is the cheapest one really, 103 grand, and it has 42,000 miles. I mean, for me, I get it. The Viper prices are way high now, and so I can't really argue the prices like I normally do because I would say that these are worth like 80 grand, but the market disagrees with me for now. I think the prices are going down. This is CarGurus, so we can tell if they reduced the price. Yep, the price went down by 12 grand. It's been for sale for only 55 days. Not even 2 months, and they already reduced it by 12 grand. So as you can see, the market is dipping a little bit. But this is a GTS, so it's going to come with a lot of standard stuff that the base does not, and therefore it warrants a higher price. 103 is what they're asking. 42,000 miles what it has. I'd be willing to go up to 90 grand. 90 grand for this one. I don't really feel like going above that simply because it is a really high mile one, and you know, it's also a first model year, you know. Moving on to our next one, we have another 2013. However, this is a base. You can see because it is a base, it has the 6-hole hood, which I think looks a lot better. This one also has the Sidewinder 2 wheels, and because it is a 2013 and not a 2014, it means that this has the track package. So let's take a look at the car. I do love these cars in red, especially with no stripes. This one didn't have any stripes either, but it's in black. This one in red looks so good in my opinion. It also has the red seatbelt options. We can see it also has the leather seat options. So what was that? That was the I think that was just leather seats. Yeah, you could get the Sebelt leather surface sport bucket 6-way manual seats for the base, and that's what this has right here. As you can also see, let's see, they show the door panel. Not really. You can see an option sheet right here. What does it have? Adrenaline Red has a track package, as I said. It has leather bucket seats, as I said. It has the 8.4-inch screen, but no nav. Yep, and that's pretty much it. It has the floor mats as well. So they optioned in the floor mats. Good for them. We can see this is base car, but with the track package. What does the track package entail? The track package, Stop Tech, slotted vented lightweight 2-piece rotors with ultra lightweight sidewinder wheels. So upgraded brakes and wheels for the track package. Pretty good for a base model. How many miles does this have? 18,000 miles. They want $122,000. It's crazy. It's insane how much they want for these cars, especially first model year base. It only has a track package, and it has 19,000 miles. I'd say for me, I'd be around like maybe, I mean, it's lowish miles, but not too low. I'd be maybe around 110. Has this gone down in price? Went up in price. But it's been for sale for almost a year. So I don't know what they're doing. They're trying to adjust it to the market, but it's already above market price anyway. They'll probably need to come down. I say 110 grand for me. Moving on to our next example, we have a 2013 base. This one, though, is special. Only 1,300 miles. But this one looks like it's super base. You have the 5-spoke Rattler wheels. Again, it is a base, so it's going to have the 6-hole hood. Let's see. Just looking inside, I mean, it is a super base car. At least it has the leather seats. So you can see it has the leather seats. Even looking at the speaker system, like looking at the doors, this is a 2013. I forgot to look at the speaker system on this one. What is this? What speaker system does this one have? I'm sorry. The speaker thing is important to me. 7 speakers, which means 9 speakers. Sometimes they're getting confused because a couple of these speakers are like 2 ways. So it's like 2 speakers, but they're considered one. It's like a coax. They count them as 2, but it's just one physical speaker. So yeah, this one has a base speaker system. You can see that here. In fact, it has a blocker plate here, so it doesn't even have speakers up here. Reminds me of childhood playing PS1 Test Drive. The video game. Nah, bro, I know exactly what Test Drive is. I had Test Drive for the. I don't know if it was for the PS2 or the Xbox 360, and that was an amazing game where you could just drive. I remember you could drive all around Hawaii. Yeah, I missed that game. That game was really fun. That was like one of the first like realistic world driving games. Midnight Club was cool, but it was still arcadey at the same time. But Test Drive was like realistic. You could like go into dealerships. It was like, I don't know. It was really cool. Anyway, yeah, I never played Test Drive on PS1 though. That's probably that is a little bit too old for me. Anyway, what else we see here? Oh, wrong ad. Anyway, so going back to this one. See, it has the leather seats, but it is a base model, so it's going to be the manual seats. It is going to have the base speaker system. I'm assuming, let's just read what it says here. 6-speed. Let's see, 7 speakers. Yep, it's going to have the base speaker system. No Harman Kardon in here. Again, looking pretty stock, honestly. Does it have nav? Nope, no nav on this one either. So it has the basic Uconnect system, no navigation. It also doesn't have the little the little pocket right here. I mean, not pocket, a little cubby. This has the pocket. So if you had a more, I believe it came in like the GTS and above. If you had the GTS, you had a little actual storage compartment. Here you just have an open cubby with a net. So again, this is just very base, but only 1,300 miles. So if you want a base one and you want to do some work, and this is be a perfect platform for you, 127 grand though for a 1,300 mile completely base car, what with leather seats. Actually, let's read this one more time. Does it say anything about any packages? Customer preferred order selection package. Yeah, nothing really here to speak of. It has everything that would come on a base SRT Viper. It's been for sale for, what does it say? 27 days. So not too far or not too long. The price went down by $2,500 already. So as I'm saying, these cars, I get it. They're really nice and they're super rare nowadays and super desirable. However, the prices are a little bit higher than what they should be, and they will come down accordingly. I think they'll probably be down about like 10% by the end of the year. So what we see here is a base model, but this one is basically brand new. So what would I pay for a brand new first model year base model Viper with no options besides leather seats? 127 grand is what they're asking. I'd probably be at 120. 120 is pretty much what it was at, adjusting for inflation from the factory. So 120 is where I'd be at for this one. Moving on to our next example, we have a 2013 GTS. Again, first model year, but this one is has one of my favorite interior configurations. It's gonna have the full Laguna leather. It's gonna cover the dash. It has the Alcantara, so this has a Laguna package. You can see here it has the stock metal cross brace, no carbon fiber. But this one has also the Venom wheels. Yep, the split 6-spoke Venom wheels. This one just looks really good in my opinion. This is like the same spec I would have my LC 500 in. Red with the tan interior. But we got some tan interior haters in the chat. Shout out to you guys. More tan interiors for me. Let's see. I can't even read that. Oh, here we go. Quick order package. 6-speed manual, blah, blah, blah. Preferred suede and leather trim. Suede. I don't know what they're talking about. No suede here. I don't know. Sometimes papers don't make sense compared to what it actually is. But again, it is what it is. See here, batteries and trunk, some amps, whatnot. What else does it say in the description? This one has the 18 speaker system. So let me see if I can show you guys that up close. We can see here it says a Harman Kardon up here, and here we don't have a block off plate. There's actually a speaker here. So 18 speaker system with the silver trim. So Laguna package car, red paint. Yeah, that looks so good in my opinion. It's just such a small cabin. Having a bright interior like this just makes it feel so much bigger. Yeah, this looks good. This one also has yep, this one has nav as well. It is a GTS, so it's going to have all the creature comforts that were available for the 2013, 2014. The GTS was a top model back then. So this one has everything. You see the Alcantara headliner as well. Just a really good looking spec. 127.5 they're asking, and it has 13,000 miles. This is the same price as the basically brand new, completely base car, and it has 13,000 miles. I'd say for me, having 13,000 miles, but being 2013 GTS fully loaded, I'd be around the 120,000 mark again. So these two I'd price the same. Just one is completely base, and 13 grand is the difference. I believe like a fully loaded GTS compared to a base is even more than 13 grand. So you could even go lower than that. However, I think that because of the way Vipers are set up in terms of the way they were produced from the factory, of them being completely custom, this one specifically is one I would like personally. So 120 personally, you probably go a little bit lower if you were just counting like what the factory value was. Cool. Moving on to our next example, we have another 2013 GTS, but this one is in black. So we can see black interior, black exterior on the Venom wheels. See all carbon fiber. We got the carbon fiber trunk, carbon fiber clamshell. We can see it at least has a carbon, or at least has the Harman Kardon system. However, I don't know which one yet. You can also see it has a diamond stitching. Again, you saw that in the previous one. It was hard to see, but it is there. That means it has a Laguna leather interior. However, this one's in black with the Alcantara inserts, I believe. No, it is all leather. I was going to say Alcantara inserts, but no. This is just it was just the way it's looking. So Laguna package GTS, but in all black. So pretty cool. Basically the same spec as the last one we looked at. However, this one is in all black. Black looks good though. I do like black with silver wheels. I think black with silver wheels is such a good combo. A lot of people black it out completely. I don't agree with that. I think it looks kind of tacky blacked out completely, but black with silver wheels looks classy. Anyway, they want 129 for this. It only has 6,200 miles though, so they're actually pretty close. I'd say for having 6,200 miles, I'd be around man, 6,200 miles. Yeah, I'd be probably, this is actually really close in my opinion. I'd probably be around 124,000, 125,000 for this one. This one is a pretty good deal. I think it's because it's in black. People, it doesn't stand out as much, but it is technically specified very well. It's just the color, it doesn't stand out as much. 125 grand for this one. Moving on to our next example, we have a 2014. So we're moving on in the model years. We had a lot of 2013s, but I just want to show you guys the different ways they come in terms of the interiors. But when we move forward through the rest of them, you'll see that everything just kind of gets wild. Anyway, so 2014, we can see this one is white with the red stripes on the Rattler wheels. 5-spoke Rattler wheels. We can also see this interior has some custom stuff going on. We also have the carbon fiber interior package. You can see the carbon fiber on the wheel, on the vents right here, around the screen, also by the shifter and around your gauges as well. You can see that this has an interesting color combo. We got black and tan. Let's take a look at the seats. This does not have the Laguna interior, but it is a GTS. So we have the Alcantara and the leather seat combo. We also have this storage pocket thing in the middle because it is a GTS, but nothing in terms of performance. We have the regular metal cross brace, standard brakes as well as the standard wheels. But as you can see, it also has the contrast stitching. So it has that too, the tan stitching on the black, which looks pretty good as well. I like the way this car looks. I would just take away the stripes. I don't like stripes, man. I think stripes look boomery as hell. And anyway, we're seeing this. It's a GTS. Looking at the hood, 2-pocket hood. A lot of people prefer the 6-pocket hood or 6-hole hood. But again, the Viper or Dodge listened to the customers and they switched it up eventually, but not until 2016. We can also see here Harman Kardon system. Let's see which one it has though. See if they say anything about the packages. Let's see. Audio system. So it has the high performance audio system. That means the 18 speaker system when it says high performance like this. Has the carbon fiber interior accents, perforated suede, blah, blah, blah. It has the advanced aero package. Okay, so it has the advanced aero package, which means it has the carbon front side splitters and the spoiler. Let's see what they're talking about. Yep, we got the carbon. And then we got the spoiler right here. I believe that's what that is. If that's the case, then this one, nope, this one does not have it. Just has a spoiler, but this one has the carbon on the front as well. So advanced aero package. What else does it have? Yeah, there's just so many packages. Usually I'm on top of this package thing, but for Viper, I just have to read it. It has the carbon fiber black exterior, interior, and more. Yep, that's about it. So aero package and interior carbon. Yeah, very boomer spec. They do have Dodge performance pages. Yep. So Dodge performance pages. I believe that they didn't come on the base model, but on every other model you could get Dodge performance pages. And what is the 0-60 on one of these? It's around 3, like the mid 3s, but let me just look that up. Dodge Viper. Yep, 3.3 seconds. So not a slow car at all. In fact, it is very fast. 3.3. I thought it was 3.5, but 3.3. Insane, actually. For a manual car, you are like, yeah, that is insane. And yes, this is very much a retirement spec with the stripes and everything. I do agree, especially with these chrome wheels. Yeah, retirement spec. They want 188 grand for this one. It doesn't even show the mileage. Let's see how many miles this thing has. 19 miles. This one's brand new. So it's crazy that they made only 3,300 of these. The prices have gone up so high, and there's still unsold ones on, you know, dealership lots. This one's been for sale for almost a year, and it's gone down by 31 grand. So they actually priced this over 200 grand. Those are very much COVID prices. I mean, I get it. It's brand new. You can probably ask whatever you want at this point. 10 years old. But 190 grand for a brand new car for a 2014 GTS, no thanks. I think for me, being brand new, I'd be around the, I mean, it is kind of a custom interior, but it is a boomer spec. So, yeah, I'd be around 130 for this one. 135 maybe. It's brand new. Exactly. A lot of people would take the Lambo Ferrari. That's why people didn't want to buy these cars, because you could get a lot of other cars that were more sophisticated than this. But it takes a special type of person to want to drive a Viper, and they'll always have their market there. It's just very small. Exactly. So 2014 Viper GTS here. We have, again, 2-hole hood, but this one is white with black stripes. You can see that off the bat on the Venom wheels in black with the tan interior. This one is going to be that full Laguna interior, as we can see. Lovely interior. I love it. You know, it looks a little bit better with like red than white, but it is what it is. They wear khakis and New Balance. Yep. And this is their first fast car ever that they got at 60. Harman Kardon system. Let's see what it has. Let's see what they have to say in terms of the description. Rare one-of-one build. See, this is what I'm talking about. They're all one-of-one builds pretty much. You can't just say that. Anyway, this one has a 12 speaker system, so it has the base Harman Kardon system. Yep, and the jean shorts. You forgot the jean shorts. Jean shorts and not ankle. You got jean shorts, mid-calf socks, New Balances, maybe a grill somewhere in the vicinity. But yeah, this one 12 speaker system. Anything else this one has? Napa beige, 3,600 miles, only driven, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, nothing else really. It's a GTS, so it's going to have pretty much everything. Again, this is 2014, so top model year, or top of the range for the model year. And yeah, looks pretty nice. I really like the way this stuff looks, like the way the stitching and the mix of Alcantara and leather looks pretty good in my opinion. Plus with the Alcantara headliner, it's a really nice place to be compared to a base one. And this also has the 18 speaker system as well. $214,000. What is going on here, man? 3,600 miles. I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. Let's see about this. It's been for sale for 171 days, so half a year, and the price went down by 30 grand in 6 months. So wow, they had this price at 250 grand. People are crazy. Clean Whip said we got to do a show about which car company has the worst buyers. Yeah, I know. I keep saying I'm gonna do more discussion videos, but I've been just super busy with like life lately, honestly, and it's like, I mean, this is the only way to say it is I've been in this routine for so long that it's hard to get out of the routine. I'm working on, I have like ideas here and there, but I really have to do a lot of research for those types of videos. So I've just been kicking that can down the road, but it will happen. It will happen because, you know, people are starting to, you know, the more videos we do, the more of a sense of the car market and cars in general we get. So we can actually make those types of, I don't want to say predictions, but make those types of judgments on the, you know, buyers of people. You say Nissan. Yeah, I mean, Nissan is up there. Like Altima drivers are pretty much, that's half of the worst drivers right there. Or the worst buyers, worst drivers, worst everything. Worst people. Altima drivers. Quick side story. I was riding my bike once at 695, my motorcycle, when I had a Triumph Daytona 675. I was riding in the fast lane, and Altima is like whipping through traffic. I see him in the mirror, or see her in the mirror. So this Altima is coming up, like going like this, and I'm in the fast lane just cruising. And then I see it come right up next to me. It's 4 Baltimore girls. Their windows are down. They're rapping some song, right? And then they're just driving along, and then they come into my lane and bump me. We're going like 80 miles an hour, and they bump me and then go back to their lane. And I'm like looking at them, I'm like, yo, like what's going on? Like, and they start cussing me out. They're telling me they're about to do all this and that, like while we're driving 80 miles an hour. I'm like, yo, you guys hit me. And anyway, I just dipped. I was like, I'm not gonna stay around for this because, you know, if you're familiar with Baltimore women, multiply that by 4. It's not a good scenario to be in. Anyway, yeah, 214 grand for this one. 3,600 miles, no thanks. 215 grand. Yeah, 2014. I'd be at 135 grand. I'd be at like, okay, 135. Man, I'd be at 135 grand, man. I don't know. Maybe the Viper's not for me. I don't get it. This one's just super expensive. I think this is just an anomaly. It's been for sale for so long, and they reduced the price by 30 grand. I think they're gonna have to reduce it by another maybe 60 grand, and I think there'll be probably more interested buyers. Anyway, moving on to our 2015. See, look, this is what I'm talking about. Like, we go from a 2014 that they want so much money for, 215 grand for, and then we go to a 2015 with, you know, 18,000 miles. I get it. It's not like low miles like that last one. The last one had 3,000 miles. So 6 times the amount of miles. However, it is a 2015. This is a more refined car than the first 2 model years. They worked out some of the kinks. It has more power. But yeah, this one is an SRT. I believe that means base for the 2015 model year. Let's take a look at the interior, see what we're working with. You can see already it's on the Sidewinder 2 wheels, meaning that it has a stop tech brakes along with the, well, this is the track package. So it has the Sidewinder 2 wheels as well as the stop tech brakes. Yeah, cars are expensive nowadays. I was talking about this with my friend last night. I was like, look, man, when I was in college, I bought a 335 for 7 grand. And that car had like 400 plus horsepower, 400 plus torque. It was manual. It was nice. Like, I feel bad for kids today. They cannot buy a car like that. They can't. For 7 grand, they're going to be like driving around some POS car that they don't like. Oh, this one is a GT, as you can see right here. So this one's just a base level GT. As you can see, it has Alcantara and leather seats. I'm trying to see what other house, because if it's a GT, you know what that means, right? It means that it could have anything. You can see it has the backup camera, so it has the convenience package at least. No performance packages, nothing to do with the cross brace. Trying to see the speaker system at least. It has Harman Kardon, so I mean it's a GT, so it could be anything. We're just gonna look at the description, see what it has to say. It has headers and exhaust. All right, cool. Aero race controller, just serviced. Adrenaline red, 6-speed manual, 12-speaker system, 5-mode electronic stability control, 6-way power. Oh yeah, the GT is like a base, except it comes with a more luxurious interior. So you saw it had that leather and Alcantara interior. That's kind of standard for the GT, as well as having the adjustable dual mode touring / sport suspension that did not come in the base. Grand Touring package as well. What was the Grand Touring package? That is not it. Let me exit out of that. The Grand Touring package. The Grand Touring package. Oh, sorry. I said the Grand Touring package. I said convenience package. I meant Grand Touring. That's what comes with the nav and the backup camera and whatnot. Harman Kardon high performance audio, but it's only the 12 speaker system. So they kind of lied. Either they lied here or they lied here. But yeah. GT, but a very base GT. But again, GT base cars are really good because they're like a GTS, except slightly less. But a lot less in terms of price. As you can see, 129 grand for this because it technically is a base GT. But again, 129 grand compared to everything else we're looking at is a steal, especially for 2015. 18,000 miles on this one, 129 grand. I try to get it for 120 just to see what happens, but I think 120 would be a sweet spot for something like this. 18,000 miles, 2015, kind of base, but it's like kind of in the middle between a base and a GTS. Kind of a sweet spot for a car. And this is a GT, so, you know, this isn't like the standard for what a GT is. GTs could be literally anything. Moving on to our next example. This one says GTC, but I believe this is an ACR. Let's see what he says. Yeah, this one says ACR. So you can have a GTC. Oh, I'm sorry. I was misrepresenting this car completely. I was confusing GTC with GT. Sorry, that was a brain fart on my end. Anyway, this is a GT, not a GTC. So GT is going to slot in between the GTS and the base, and it's not completely customizable. It's just a base with a little bit nicer interior as well as adjustable suspension. So that's what this is right here, as well as having the Grand Touring package. So you got all the good stuff. So, I mean, it's pretty much like 80% of a GTS. You're just missing some of the comfort in terms of sound deadening and the materials inside the car. Anyway, moving on to this one. It says this is a GTC, but in the description, it says it's an ACR. And stuff like this is really hard to tell because, as we mentioned with the packages for the GTC, you could get the ACR Extreme package on a GTC. So that's that. You can see here the hood vents. There are 6 of them. This is 2016. This is when the 6 became the performance standard, while the base standard got the 2 vent system. So as you can see here, fully ACR car. Let's see what it says. It says the Extreme Aero package in gunmetal pearl, Adrenaline GTS stripes, and it has the 18 speakers. Oh, so this is not an ACR. This is actually a GTC, like they said. I don't know why they set it up here. I guess to just, you know, make it known that it is basically an ACR, but it is a GTC with all the ACR parts. You can tell it's a GTC because it has the 18 speaker system. ACRs come with a 3 speaker system, which is pitiful. You know, why even have speakers? You have 3 of them. That's basically for your like window chime or your door chime or whatever. I said window chime. Anyway, it has red belts, HID lights. But yeah, this one is a GTC, and GTC with the Brembo carbon ceramics, the ACR wheels, Mopar performance tune. It has LSD, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's standard. Anyway, so GTC, but with all ACR parts. So this is actually like the best of both worlds in terms of having your car. This is the perfect one to get if you want to, you know, get one that's collectible for the future and one that won't ever lose any value ever, because it's not only looked like an ACR, but it has all the comfort. Let's see what the interior looks like though. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But as we can see here, leather and Alcantara. We even have a cool graphic here, like a race flag. Looks pretty cool. It says ACR. Maybe it is an ACR, Mel. I don't know. It says GTC. It has a 12 speaker system. Maybe they upgraded the speaker system, but it says ACR there. I mean, it is lightweight right here in terms of not having the storage. So ACR. We'll just say it's an ACR for now, even though they say it's a GTC. We'll have to look at the actual VIN. It has red keys too, so it has nav. I mean, this is like a fully loaded car. This is insane. Carbon fiber interior package, carbon fiber side sills, carbon fiber side skirts, carbon fiber canards, front diffuser, rear diffuser, big wing. It's as good as it gets. ACR badges all over it. Yeah, look at this. You got this bottom diffuser, you got your canards, you got the vents on the hood right here. You also have this wing, huge wing. One of the biggest wings in the business. Yeah. This is a wing, correct. This is the definition of wing. Anything else besides this is just simply like a little spoiler or something. No, this is a wing ready for takeoff. Anyway, let's scroll down. I mean, I'm just trying to see what else this car has before going into the description again. Yeah, best of both worlds. You have all the technology, well as long along with all the performance. Exactly. I remember once I was in college and I saw one of these driving through campus, like an ACR 5th gen driving through campus, and it was lowered too, and it was like spaced out. That thing looked insane. The wing, it's crazy because these are really low, so the wing is probably like only like, 4 feet off the ground, but it's like 6-7 feet wide. It was the biggest thing I've ever seen in terms of wings. Pause. Anyway, so going back to this, I mean, I'm trying to price this. $259 is pretty fair for ACRs, honestly. I try to get in the low 200s though, so I'd be around 210. 210 for this one is 8,800 miles. Maybe I can get it for 210, but they go way higher than this, and this one is really well spec'd, so that's kind of a wishful thinking for 210, but that's where I'd be at. I don't really think I should spend more than that on a Viper. I get it's an ACR, but for 210, you could get an actual, foreign supercar with the engine in the back. I don't know. This is for a special crowd, which I'm included. I like these cars, but I don't think that over 210 is crazy is feasible for, I don't know, man. I just don't know. 210, it just sounds crazy to me. Yeah, Claro said McLaren. Yeah, man, you can always compare these to McLaren because you can get a 650S for 130 grand. And that's a nice one. It's a nice one. I mean, not the nicest, but it's like mid-tier. This one's 260. That's twice the price. Insane. Anyway, I'd be at 210. Moving on to our next one, we have another ACR. Just want to get all the ACRs in. This one, I believe, is a more base level ACR. It doesn't have the extreme aero. As you can see, it doesn't have the vented hoods. It doesn't have the side skirts. It doesn't have the double canards, just one canard. It still has the front diffuser, the front lip, whatever you want to call it, and the big spoiler, though. Moving on to the interior, we can see this does not have any of those special things that the last one has. In terms of the speaker system, this has the 3-speaker system. This is going to be your base ACR. And what are they asking? $274. This one is brand new, though, so I get it. So many brand new cars still for sale because people literally thought they would make so much money, so they just held on to them. Which they'll make some money, but don't hold out for too long. Prices are going to come down eventually. You see the carbon ceramic brakes standard on the ACR, which are huge. Look how big these are. Then we have, regular seats. There's going to be the half Alcantara, half leather seats. But obviously with the ACR, you're going to have a bunch of weight-saving stuff as well. So none of that, none of that nice stuff. You have the Uconnect. Oh, with nav. Okay, so you at least have nav in this. 3 speakers. Let's see up here. Thermofiber. Yeah, it doesn't really say anything. So this is basically a base, sorry, I'm just reading you guys' chats. Base ACR. And they want tons of money, but it is brand new. 600 miles on this one. 275 grand they're asking. I said 210 for this one with 8,000 miles. Maybe for this one because it has no options. I'd be at 230. 230, I think, for a brand new ACR is fair. It's brand new, and it's an ACR. People aren't really caring about all that creature comfort stuff. At least the people that are buying one of these, unless they're true like car enthusiasts and they love the best of both worlds, which is very far and few between. Usually people, if they want a luxury car, they'll just get a luxury car. And they want one of these, they'll get, or they want, a track car, they'll get something like this with minimal options. But I'd be at 230, I said? Yeah, 230 for this one. Yeah, 230. Anyway, moving on to our next example, we have an all white with the black Sidewinder 2 wheels. This one looks like it has the TA, some TA package. This is a GTC. You can see we have one canard. We also have, it looks like it might have the aerodynamics package or the TA package. We'll see in a second. Sidewinder wheels with the Stop Tech brakes. As you can see, these are classic Stop Tech vented design. Little wing. It's not as big. A lot of people think this wing looks tiny, and it is compared to the other one. We do have the Grand Touring package. What else can we see here? Interior. It's a GTC, and it doesn't have anything in terms of speakers. You can see this one is completely blanked out, so I don't know, man. This one also has, looks like, they're red seats, but they look pretty base, and I don't know what's going on with this belt. Why is it all over the place? Anyway. Yeah, is this like another belt? Like a harness? I have no idea. Maybe some sort of harness. Yep, it looks like they have a race harness in there for some reason. I wonder if this car is customized in any way. So this one is custom designed by Bondurant, hand built in Detroit. Shout out to Bondurant. I don't know who that is. You know who Bondurant is? Tell him I said what's up. Anyway, scrolling through here, we see leather on the dash, but again, it's a GTC, so it's completely custom anyway. So I guess Bondurant was the original dude who spec'd this car. I don't know why he spec'd it like this, man. You could have had so many other options. 2016, and at 7,800 miles, they want 177 grand for this one. Let's see what he has to say. It's been for sale for 97 days. We didn't check these ACRs. Let me see this one. This one is the one I like. How long is this for sale? 499 days. And they only reduced it by 5 grand. They are very optimistic. This is this one right here with all the interior comfort, as well as the ACR pieces, as well as the extreme aero. You can see the vents right here. It's been for sale for almost a year and a half, and they've only released it by 5 grand. It's gonna be for sale for a long time. 4,500 bucks at APR of 12%. 12% is insane. That's with a $60,000 down payment too. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's see at this one too. The GT. I forgot to look at this one. 180 days. They only went down by 7 grand. This ACR has been for sale for half a year. They went, or not half a year, almost a year. Went down by 15 grand. As you can see, the common trend is all of them are going down. So smart thing to do would be to wait it out. But you don't want to wait out too much because they probably will go back up eventually. So what does this one have? This one has a TA Group 2. So that's why the wing looks like that. That's it. I mean, it's a TA Group 2 car. I mean, TA Group was really a base level package, and this is a GTC. So it's like kind of a base level car, honestly. That's what it really is. It's just a base level GTC with the TA2 package. And the interior, there really isn't much going on. It has, did it say anything about the speakers? 12 speaker system. So, I mean, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. They don't even say Harman Kardon, though. That's really confusing. But maybe, I mean, it's a GTC, so everything's custom, so maybe it doesn't. Why would they go back up? I say because they're super rare. And as time goes on, you know, with inflation, they're going to go up that way. Also, this package, in terms of the way this car is, 8.4 liter V10. They don't make it anymore. Only manual. Dodge Viper. It has the name heritage behind it. People are going to want these forever. And so the low mile ones and the ACRs are definitely going to go up in price. In fact, we're going to look at a couple 2017s in a second. And yeah, they are Dodge, but what other car company makes the 8.4 liter V10? And even though they're Dodge, the road presence of a Viper is insane. You can't get over that. People go crazy every time you see one. I predict they're going to go up again. Honestly, they're probably, I mean, not go up again, but they're going to go down and then probably go back up to where they're at now. But the prices will be higher on paper because of inflation. But I think they're going to go down for a little bit, then go back up again. So what happens is the price was low, it went up. It's going to come down a little bit, then it's going to go up like this again. That's kind of how it works. It's just going to go like this. You know, until it reaches a point where all of them are old and in terms of repairs. For these, I forgot to mention, since they're so rare, like I get most parts on these are going to be Dodge and they're going to be easy to find, but there are specialty parts for Vipers that are super expensive. And they don't really make much aftermarket stuff either because of the R&D required to make aftermarket parts. You really need a high rate of return in terms of, you need a lot of customers. And when there's only 3,300 of them out there, you're not going to have that many customers. So yeah, this one, 177 grand, 7,800 miles. The GTC, but not really that optioned in terms of being a GTC. The door cards aren't that special. There's no Alcantara or anything like that on the headliner. Yeah, I'd be at 150 grand for this one. Maybe 100. No, actually, I'd be at 155. 155 for this one. More than Hellcats? What do you, I forgot what I said. What do you mean more than Hellcats? Will these be worth more than Hellcats? Of course. There's so many Hellcats out there. Anyway, moving on, we have a GTC. This one has a big wing. It has the double canards. It has the front carbon splitter. So we can see it has a track package wheels. And it is going to be a GTC with a 2-hole hood. So I'm not sure if this is aftermarket or whatnot. We'll get to it in a second. Oh, it does have the black gas cap. That is actually an option for GTC, so it has that. It also has this APR performance wing, so not a stock wing, but it is carbon fiber. It looks pretty good. Interior has the carbon fiber package. We see that on the seats. We also have the carbon fiber exterior package. We see this applique is what they called it. I don't know why Dodge wants to be, is that French? Applique. Maybe Spanish? I don't know, man. But I don't know why they're using this. Why don't they just call it a surround or whatever? Yeah, I mean, the special editions are going to be very collectible, but I do believe the ACRs are collectible as well as a really well-spec'd GTC. The other ones, they're going to be collectible, but the prices aren't going to be as high. They're not going to like appreciated value like those two. 6.2 is a household thing, yeah. Yep, in carbon fiber interior package, we can see all carbon, last model year, so it's going to be the most carbon. We can see custom designed by competition blue T. I can't read. I said blue T, blue TA. So GTC, I guess all the GTCs have a custom design plaque. And so as you can see, leather and Alcantara interior, door panels are okay. They're pretty well nice. They're pretty well appointed. You have the color contrast stitching. You also have the Harman Kardon system. We'll get to what exactly it has. This is a GTC, so I mean, I hope it has the 18 one, because that would make the most sense. But this one has a cool combo of Alcantara and leather on the interior. It's just black, so a little bit dark, but it is what it is. You can see it has nav as well, so fully loaded in terms of interior amenities. Track package, we can see the stop tech brakes here, as well as this big wing. So let's take a look and see what they have to say about it. So it has a time attack group 1. I believe that was what the track package became after a while. Track package is, I guess, a 2013, 2014 thing. Let's look at that up real quick. 2017. Let's look at the packages. Yeah, the time attack one got the oh, these are Brembos, not stop tech. They have track pack for these years? Nope. So yeah, this is actually Brembo slider brakes. Excuse me. Too many options of these things, man. Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot. You're right. This one was for sale. This one has been for sale for 97 days. It went down by $7,300. This one we already looked at. 249 days. Yep, $15,000. This one has been for sale for 877 days. That's damn near 3 years, man. Hasn't moved. Price went down by $5,000 in 3 years. They are very, very confident that they're gonna get this, but it's been 3 years, man. Give it up. It's been too long. Let's see, all the carbon fiber. Yep, it has the whatever you call it, the package that has all the nav and the backup camera, the Grand Touring package. I don't know, man. These I'll show you guys on the screen actually. So I'm looking at these packages for the 2017, and there's just so many. Advanced Aero, Laguna, Ceramic Blue, TA Interior, TA1, TA2, Time Attack 1. It's so stupid. They got TA, and they have Time Attack. That's also TA. But this is a group, not a package. Excuse me. ACR package, ACR Interior. Doesn't make any sense, man. I hate the fact that they do this. It makes it so confusing. But I guess it makes it so all the cars are one-off, and they're all pretty cool, so whatever. We have the 18 speaker system. We have an upgraded APR performance spoiler. Nav. Will not last. This car has been here for 3 years. It has lasted, my friend. It has lasted. That is hilarious that they wrote that. Will not last. Get it while you can. It's been for sale for 3 years. Anyway, you can see everything's in carbon. It's just basically a GTC with a bunch of carbon. Has the good infotainment, good speaker system, has a big wing. It also has the Time Attack Group 1. Sidewinder 2. Yeah. So pretty well-spec'd vehicle, this one. I like it. I don't know why it's been for sale. I mean, I do know why it's been for sale for so long. It's because it's listed at $210,000. This is not an ACR. I get it. It looks like an ACR, but it's not an ACR. It literally says GT on the side. So for this one, for having 4,700 miles, I'd be around the $160,000 mark. It has some good options. I'll give it that. It's low miles, but 160 grand is where I'd be at for this one, not 210. So moving on to our next example, we have a GTS. This one's a last model year GTS. I really like these last model year GTSs because they're not anything crazy, even though they don't have the good hood. Because, yeah, I thought they switched it. I could have sworn they switched it. I guess not. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, actually, hold on. I'm not crazy. We're gonna look at this hood situation. 2017. What the hell is the hood thing? Probably passed it. Fiber. I can't read that fast though. Let's see. Yeah, so the GTS had the 2 extractors. Oh wow. But in 2016 they had the 3 extractors, right? Wow, I was tripping, man. I really thought that the 6.1 changed, but it really was 2 for the entire time. Yeah. Sorry. I messed up on that one, y'all. The hood stayed for 2 for the GTS. The stock base models always had the 6, but you could get an optional one. It was optional for the GTS. How about in 2016? It was no longer optional for the GTS. Only in 2015 could you get a 6-hole hood for GTS. So that's that. You're the guy that has to say no, it's not an ACR. It just looks like it. You know what's funny? I say that like privately, but I don't like criticizing people's cars because I never want someone to do that to me. So, and especially when I see them so happy, I really don't want to ruin their day. And I've seen people do that a lot. It's really annoying. So we can talk shit here online, but in person, I'm not that type of person. If I even see a base Viper, man, I'm gonna give you props, man. 100 grand, it's not easy to get. But yeah, I would think that in my head though. I'm like, dang. I was looking around like, yeah, this is nice. Is this, yeah, exactly. The question is like, is this an ACR? Be like, yeah, but it says GT on the side. It says GTC on the inside. He's like, oh yeah, I got the ACR packages. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, so I try to flip it, into a good situation. But, oh, you got the GTC with the ACR. That means you can get all the interior stuff. Yeah, just leave it at that. Be like, oh, so you have a nicer interior than ACR. Try to make them feel good about not having an ACR. But yeah, we can see this one GTS with the GTS hood, the 2-scoop hood. Even though it doesn't look bad. It looks more sleek. The 6-scoop looks more aggressive. This one doesn't have any type of exterior package. It just looks really clean this way, in my opinion. This is kind of how I would rather have a Viper. Looks very sleek, very clean. And this color is also really nice, like a gunmetal or like a dark gray. Interior, we can see it has the full Laguna interior with the silver trim. Harman Kardon speaker system. Let's read what it says here. Actually, let's see how long it's been for sale. 282 days on CarGurus, and they didn't even reduce the price. 175 grand for this one. So I mean, not a bad price comparatively speaking, relatively speaking. It's still very expensive, but it is what it is. Nice interior though, as I mentioned, Laguna interior. Yeah, exactly, a calm car. This one is nice. I agree. GTS has the track wheels, the sidewinder wheels. But yeah, I really like this one. This one is my favorite. In fact, the last 2 are my favorites. This one is my second favorite. It has the stripes, which I'm not a fan. But again, you can barely see them. Doesn't really matter. Just kind of a little bit dark on the interior, but it looks cool. Black on black, basically, is what it is. So what they have to say. Let's see. Anything to say about speakers? That's the first thing I look at. Is hilarious. Anyway, let's just read this out loud. Venom Black GTS, blah, blah, blah. Red Brembo brake calipers, dual mode, track suspension because it is GTS, side exhaust, Laguna leather, 6-speed. Okay. And then, 18 speaker system. There we go. So, yeah, it has all the good stuff. I guess the GTS maybe came with that standard at that point. So, let's take a look at that too. 2017 speakers. So many dang options for these things. Yep. GTS, yep, the 18 speaker system was standard in 2017. How about 2016? 18 speakers was standard in GTS for 2016 as well. So 18 speakers. That's why I think the GTS is the best version of the car. It's like the most overall, the cheapest as well in terms of the options versus what you get, or the price versus what you get. Cleanup said, do these suffer from the issue with the side pipe issues like the early generations? Yeah. So the side pipes, They do get very hot. That whole rock, I don't know what you're going to call it, a rocker cover, or I forget what it's called. The section you step over to get into the car, that is very hot, and people burn themselves all the time. So, you know, if you're giving people rides in one of these, you definitely want to make sure that they know to step clear over it. Don't even let your leg rest up against it. Obviously, if the car is cold, it's not going to burn you, or if you just were driving around. But if you've been pushing it hard, that whole area is going to be hot. And yeah, people burn themselves all the time, especially people who change out their exhaust, so they get rid of the mufflers or whatnot. That part gets even hotter because of, you know, more sound, more heat, more everything. People burn themselves all the time. So yeah, this still burns you. Not as much. It's a little bit more protected because obviously people sue and whatnot, but it still is hot. So you still get burned if you're beating on the car. So yeah, 18 speakers, Laguna leather, GTS, nice color, fully loaded, last model year. How many miles? 5,100 miles. They went out for 175 grand. And I mean, 5,100 miles isn't that bad. It's not on the high side. I mean, comparatively speaking, most of these were like between, you know, 0 and 20,000 miles. So 5,000 is on the lower end. 175 grand though. I'd probably be at the 165 mark, but I think it's close, especially because it's the last model year, and it looks really good in my opinion. Oh yeah, man, I'm always forgetting that. You appreciate you, Clean Whips. You got me. 282 days at this dealership, and they didn't reduce the price not one time. So they're optimistic they're going to get it. I mean, it is the last model year, and it is, comparatively speaking to other 2017s and 2016s, it's not that bad of a price. However, I think it should be around 10 grand less. 165 is where I'd be at. Or 160, 165. I think, yeah, just say 160. Cool. All right, moving on to our next one, and our last one. We have it in blue. This is such a beautiful color. It's on the Venom wheels, blue GTS or blue GTC rear wheel drive. I don't know. I'm just reading. Anyway, 13,000 miles. They want this one for 156 grand. So very, very decently priced already. Let's see what the spec is like. This is a GTC, so it's gonna have a lot of weird stuff. This paint color is amazing. I love this like dark blue. No carbon on the back, just a black rear applique. Interior has the Laguna leather interior, but it's like a two-tone Laguna leather with the black. You also have the 18 speaker system, but this one looks so nice. Blue on tan. This is my yacht spec Viper right here. Even though it doesn't have any wood, it would be nice if it had carbon, but you can't win them all. This one has the silver trim. This one also has the carbon fiber cross brace, so it must have some sort of performance package that we're not seeing, or they just optioned the cross brace. I think actually in 2017 they offered the cross brace as a standalone option. So this is that carbon fiber cross brace. Looks pretty cool. But yeah, this one is my favorite of all of them. GTC blue with the tan interior. You got the carbon cross brace. You have all your stuff right here. Needs a stripe? No. You can have a stripe. I don't want a stripe. This one looks really nice the way it is. Yeah. Let's see how much or how long it's been for sale. 58 days, so not too far. 76 saves, so over a save a day. That's crazy. And 156 grand. Yeah, you like the stripe? I mean, a lot of people do like the stripes. I'm not gonna knock it, just not for me. I like a simpler looking look. The stripes look a little tacky in my opinion, but to each his own. To each its own. To each his own. Whatever. Let's see what he has to say about it though. 18 speakers. Look, this person knows. This is what you put first. This 18 speaker system. Venom Hyper Black Wheel GTS interior package. If you're looking at so it has a GTS interior package on a GTC, which is dope. 13,000 miles, 6-way power, seats, armored car, and again. Yeah, this one is nice. All the options I would ever want. It's not the most aggressive one, but I don't think that they always have to be super aggressive. But this one I just love. I love the tan. I love how, I also like how this one is a two-tone tan, so it's not too extreme. I would have also liked the all tan interior on these, but this one is not bad. I think this one looks pretty cool. But the all tan would have been nice. Takes me back and the blue cover GTS on test drive. I don't know. What do you mean? I know you're talking about test drive, but what does the previous thing mean? This one also has tan seatbelts. Interesting. So yeah, GTC completely custom. I want to see the dash. They don't show the dash plate. I want to see who made this one. Oh, I can't read it. Anyway, very, very nice. The blue of the car. Oh. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. The cover color of the car. Anyway, GTC, pretty much everything you'd ever want. GTS interior, you got the speaker system. It's a nice color as well. 156 grand. You know, for me having 13,000 miles, I'd be at 140. See where we're working out from there. It's been for sale for 58 days. It's probably gonna go, honestly, at this price. You know, it's really hard to find these last model years anywhere near this price. So 140 is where I'd be at, but it's probably gonna go for this price if we're being real, especially with this carbon fiber stuff. Yeah. Still take the 911 Turbo S. 911 Turbo S is a phenomenal vehicle. The pinnacle of reliability of engineering, or not, maybe not reliable. Well, it is pretty reliable, but engineering in general is 911. But they're not that special, man. 911s are so like, they're good at everything. There's no like soul. Unless you get like a GT3 or something, let's have some soul. The turbo is just stupid fast. Stupid fast, stupid nice, stupid reliable, stupid dailyable, stupid dailyable. Stupid everything. The turbo, especially Turbo S, is just a phenomenal car. Brand new warranty, you're right. Yeah. For 160 grand, you could do a lot of damage in terms of cars. You could get so many things for 160 grand. That's why these Vipers aren't selling, because at this price, you can get so much stuff. Like for 160, yeah, you could get for this price, I'd get like an R8 V10 Plus, like a facelifted 2021. Or whatever. Whenever the facelift came out, 2020, 2021, I get an R8 V10 Plus over this. I guess it's V10, naturally aspirated. It's not a manual, but it's faster. It looks looks more exotic, I guess. This looks exotic. I'm not gonna take that away from the Viper, but the R8 V10 Plus is just something else. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Viper or R8 V10 Plus, because those are cheap too. The R8 V10, you can get them for like, well, the new ones. I'm talking about the facelifted, the Gen 2s. You can get those in like the 120s for like a decent one. A great value Lambo. Also, side note, if you get an R8, insurance is way cheaper than a Lambo because it's an Audi. It's not a Lamborghini. It's just an Audi. So, yep. A great value Lambo, exactly. Cool. Well, that wraps it up for the Dodge Viper, the 5th gen Dodge Viper. I'll just go over some of the key highlights. 2013, 2014 are the SRT Viper. It's going to be a little bit different. It has a little bit less horsepower, a little bit less refined in terms of the interior. You don't get as much stuff standard, but it is overall 99% the same car. 2015, they changed it back to the Dodge Viper. Had a bump of 5 horsepower. 2016, 2017 were the last 2 years of production where they barely sold any, and they were pretty much a la carte for every option that you wanted if you got a GTC. So GTCs were big, how do I say this? A lot of people went for the GTCs because of the customization. And that's what you usually see, or the ACRs. If you want to get an ACR, you know, I really don't know what to say if you want to get an ACR. Just find a nice one. Find one that probably hasn't been tracked that much. Just so you can get one that lasts and you can get a good resale value at the end of the day. But overall, I think the GTS is going to be your best bang for your buck in terms of going through all these trim levels. The GT is almost as good as the GTS, but the GTS is more luxurious than a GT, and has more sound deadening. It's just a better, more well-built feeling car. I say feeling because it's still built the same, but it just feels more high quality, simply because of sound deadening and materials. And GTC, fully custom, we all know that. And bass, of course, is just going to have the regular 9 speaker system, or 12, I guess, if you get a Dodge Viper. But the SRT Vipers, the bass ones literally had nothing. You didn't even get nav. You got the terrible speaker system. You don't even have leather seats. But you know, these are Viper customers, and Viper customers are a little bit different than the rest of the customers looking for exotic cars. And so a lot of people really appreciate the bass ones, and a lot of people got those. So you see a lot of bass ones running around. I know in the beginning we had a lot of 2013 basses, and that's because there's a ton of them. People like the bases because it's still a Dodge at the end of the day. It's not going to be super luxurious, so why even try? That's the mindset of some people. In terms of individual options, Wheels is up to you. I like the sidewinders. I like the Venoms. The Rattlers are cool. They look classier. They look more old school, I guess. You can get your stripes. I highly suggest getting leather unless you're into the fabric. I mean, fabric is cool, but leather is just going to be a little bit more premium. You know, it is what it is. Speaker system, you have to get the 18 speaker system. You have to. Carbon fiber hood with 2. If you can get the 6, you can get the 6 air extractor hood. Get that, but the 2 hole hoods are standard on the GTS, so you really can't avoid those unless you get model year 2015, which is the only model year which you could choose the hood on a GTS. If you're getting a GT, or if you're getting a GTS or above, definitely get the GTS Laguna leather interior package that comes with all the nice leather and the diamond stitch seats. That is going to be such a selling point when you go to sell the car in the future. People love that package. And yeah, that's pretty much it. In terms of all these packages, get whatever you want, get whatever you can. They're all going to be different. Make sure if you get an early model year that the recalls have been done. But just know that this car is super hard to manage compared to other cars. Everyone says it's scary. I've driven a Gen 3 Viper. I've never driven a Gen 4 or Gen 5, so I can't say that. But the Gen 3 Viper is just, I didn't really drive it too hard, but it feels like a riot to drive. Like, everything is kind of heavy. It's hard to see. The nose is super long. It's hard to drive in general, which commands a lot of respect, in my opinion. So keep that in mind. Oil consumption as well. You really don't want to have any issues with the car. They had rod bearing issues, which is hilarious. And that is partly due to people not checking their oil. It takes over 10 quarts of oil, like 10 and a half, 11 quarts of oil. And even if you're a quarter too low, that can lead to a degradation of the rod bearings and all your internals. So always keep your oil up on these cars. And just keep in mind that, you have electronic stability control. That's cool, but it's still a rear-wheel drive manual, 600 foot-pound of torque, like 3,300 pound car. V10. Yeah, I'm a V10 guy. I love V10s, man. It's my favorite. But yeah, you said the new Corvette with the flat plane. Yeah, you could also get that for this price too. Dang, you could also get a brand new Corvette with the flat plane with more power. How much torque does that thing make? It's a flat plane, so it can't make too much torque. Z06C8. 460 pound-feet of torque. Yeah, this is not pulling like the Viper, but it'll probably exceed it in top speed. Revs up to 8,600 RPM. That is crazy that you could get a brand new Z06 for the price of a 10-year-old Viper. Yeah, a lot to think about. Again, the Viper has tons of competition. That's why it didn't sell too well. However, it is just such a unique car, and it's like a blast from the past. Like, this is how cars used to be. Cars now are a little bit different. So that pretty much wraps it up. Shout out to everyone who made it this far in the video. Shout out to, what's his name? I forgot his name already. My bad, bro. Shout out to, man, of course. What was his name? You predicted it earlier, Claro. Jay Wet. Shout out to Jay Wet. This guy right here. He got blonde hair. I don't know if that's actually him, but shout out to you, man. You won the 50 bucks. So hit me up on the DMs. And I will, get that to you, whether that be Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, Apple Pay, whatever you take, PayPal. Let me know. I can do it all. So, yeah, shout out to the winners. If you want to win 50 bucks, join my Discord. We will do giveaways every couple weeks. Also, like the video. If you haven't liked the video, I forgot to ask you guys, like that video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. 85% of you guys who watch my videos aren't subscribed. You guys just watch, and I get it. You're looking at one specific car, but I do all cars. If you're into cars, subscribe. This is the perfect place to learn about the intricate details about every single car that's on the market right now. Stuff that no normal human knows. I will teach you here. So that pretty much wraps it up. And shout out to Clean Whips, who's been carrying the chat today. So shout out to him. Shout out to Claro, who else has been in here. Shout out to Trini Man. Shout out to Jacob Black. Shout out to all y'all, the regulars. You guys supporting the channel. I salute you guys. Thank you so much. I will see you guys on Monday. Actually, what are we going to talk about on Monday, man? We got a ton of cars on here, man. I think I'm going to do I think I'm going to do the new Acura NSX on Monday. So that's going to be a thing. Acura NSX Monday. That car is another car that is super underappreciated. It came out, it was at the forefront of like V6 hybrid turbo technology, and that's all that's the rage now. They were like way ahead of the game. They don't get their flowers, and we'll give them their flowers on Monday because the old Acura NSX, or the old Acura, the new Acura NSX was a great car. It just was an Acura at the end of the day, and it wasn't that exciting on the interior, and so a lot of people didn't like it. So we'll talk all about that tomorrow, Monday, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's my birthday this weekend. Wish me happy birthday. Sunday is my birthday. Yeah. Then the new. Wait, you said then the new GTR and Porsche came out. Man, you be the thing is, I'd be talking so much, I don't remember what I said, and then you'd be saying something that has to relate to what I said, and I forget it. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I said. So, I got you. So the Acura came out, then the GTR came out, and then the Porsche came out. Yeah, and then just obliterated, and then the Acura NSX faded off into oblivion. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, Cinco de Mayo is my birthday, and we had a goal of 1,400 subscribers before my birthday, and we reached that goal. So shout out to you guys, man. I wish I had an applause thing here, but I'll give you guys the air horn. So I will see you guys on Monday. New Acura NSX buyer's guide on Monday. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and yeah, peace. Have a good one.